Okay, welcome to the session. Good morning, students. Now today's class we discuss about the chapter 2 in unit 4. Okay, input output organization. In that, first topic is peripheral devices. What are the peripheral devices? Peripheral devices means hardware components of the computer. Only we can see the output of the computer. External devices are known as a peripheral devices. Okay, for example, monitor, keyboard, mouse. These are the peripheral devices which are connected to the computer. Input and output devices are connected to the computer are called peripheral devices, which are you can touch and feel is known as a peripheral devices. Peripheral devices means it is a input and output devices which we can touch and feel. Okay, these are connected to the computer is nothing but the peripheral devices. Mainly we have three types of peripheral devices. Okay, mainly we have three types of peripheral devices. Three types of peripheral device. One is input device. Second one is output device. Third one is input and output device. Okay, what is the peripheral devices? Peripheral devices means which we have to touch and feel, that is connected to the computer, that is the external parts of the computer is nothing but peripheral device. It mainly consisting of three types: input device, output device and input and output device. Coming to the input device, what is the example of input device? What is, first of all, what is input device? Input devices means whenever it is in order to mainly use it to give the input to the computer. Okay, in order to mainly it is useful in order to give the input to the computer. Input device means in order to give the input to the computer. Example of input devices is keyboard, mouse, scanner. Okay. Keyboard, most we used the input devices are keyboard, mouse and scanner. Okay, let us see about what is a keyboard. Whenever user want to give the input to the computer, we use the keyboard with the help of keyboard. With the help of keyboard, we can give the input to the computer. Okay, keyboard consisting of sum of keys, alphabets. Okay, alphabets, special symbols, shift key, logic key, okay, numbers, okay, symbols, from function keys. Keyboard consisting of keyboard. Okay, there are three types. Okay, three types of peripheral devices means input device, next one output device, third one is input and output device. Okay, from input device we can give the input to the computer is nothing but input device. Example of input device is keyboard, mouse, scanner. These are the input devices are connected to the computer. Okay, what is a keyboard? Keyboard is nothing but whatever the input is due with the help of keyboards, with alphabet, symbols, digits, okay, shift key, enter key. These consisting is these are provided in keyboard. Okay, keyboard has function keys, that is from F1 to F12. F1 to F12, that is nothing but function keys. Next, control keys. It includes control, X means cut command. Okay, cut, we have to cut the content with the help of control X. Next, control C means copy. Okay, control V means paste. Okay, these are used for Control C. These are nothing but Control X, Control C, Control V, Control T means we have to open the another tab. Okay, these are the shortcut keys for the control keys are the shortcut keys. These are the shortcut keys of the control key. Function keys is nothing but F1 to F12 and digits. Next step. Alphabets. Okay, these are provided in the keyboard. Okay, keyboard can access the data to the from keyboard. We have to transfer the data to the computer. Okay, with the help of American ASCII codes. Okay, keyboard can be transfer the data with ASCII code. What is the ASCII? American Standard Codes Information Interchange. With the help of ASCII code, we can give the input to the computer. ASCII means American Standard Code Information Interchange. With the help of ASCII code, we have to transfer the information or give the input to the computer. Okay, keyboard that consisting of function keys, control keys, digital keys, alphabets or shift keys. Okay, enter keys, tabs. Okay, these are provided in the keyboard. Okay, ASCII that consisting of 7 bits. ASCII is nothing but 7 bits. We have to calculate that 7 bits. We have to represent 2 power 7 is equal to 128 keys. Okay, ASCII code, American Standard Code Information Interchange consisting of 128 keys. Okay, for 128, 94 are the printable and 34 are the non-printable. Okay, with the help of ASCII, American Standard Codes Information Interchange, we can give the input to the computer with the help of keyboard. Keyboard consisting of function keys, control keys, digits, alphabet, shift keys, enter keys and tabs keys. And ASCII contains 7 bits of information that can be represented as 2 power 7 equal to 128 keys. From out of 128 keys, 94 are printable and 34 are non-printable. Okay, here 94 are printable contains, okay, alphabets, it consisting of 26 and lower case of alphabets that consisting also 26, okay, 10 digits, like that, totally we have 94 bits. Okay, 32 are the another special symbol keys. Okay, 94 are the printable. Whatever the data you can give to the computer, that is nothing but printable. It consisting of 94 keys. It is a printable. Okay, 34 are the non-printable. That is coming from these two are nothing but ASCII, American Standard Code Information Interchange. Okay, here input devices are keyboard. Keyboard is nothing but, okay, it is used for in order to give the input to the computer. Okay, with the help of keys, alphabets, digits, special symbols, function keys, with the shortcut keys, enter keys, space bar. Okay, these are provided in the keyboard. And keyboard that give the information to the computer with the help of ASCII. ASCII means American Standard Code Information Interchange. The information that can be interchanged from keyboard to monitor. Okay, consisting of 7 bits. 7 bits means 2 power 7, that is equal to 128 bits. Out of 128 we have 94 and 34 bits. Okay, out of 128 bits, out of 128 keys we have to divide two keys, like 94 are the printable characters and 34 are the non-printable. Printable means it consisting of alphabets, digits, symbols, okay, lowercase letters, uppercase letters, these are comes under the printable. Okay, coming to the next example, input device mouse. Okay, mouse is nothing but it can move the operations. We can move the cursor wherever we want to do the operations in the computer. Okay, it consisting of the two types, left click and right click. Consisting of it can move the operation, scroll on the overall the screen. Okay, consisting of two types, left click and right click. For right click we can select any option. Okay, for left click we can select any file or a document. For right click we can cut and copy the content or any data or any information. With the help of mouse we can use the shortcut key, we can cut and copy the information or data from one file to another file. And for using the mouse we have to select an object or file on a document. Okay, coming to the scanner. Okay, scanner is nothing but it scans the particular picture or image. Okay, it scans the particular picture or image. For example, one document has some picture or image that can be scanned with the help of scanner, then provide the output to the monitor. That is a one input device. We can access the image from the document. Okay, then we view the computer that image as a output. Okay, that is nothing but the scanner. Keyboard, mouse, scanner are the input devices. Next, coming to the output device. Most used output devices are monitor and printer. Okay, what is a monitor? Okay, monitor, whenever user want to give the input with the help of input device, then the resultant output will be displayed on the monitor. Okay, we already all of you know what about the monitor. Okay, monitor is a mainly used output device. Okay, monitor consisting of LCD, LED. Okay, LCD means light. Okay, light emitting diode and liquid crystal display and light emitting diode. Okay, these two are mainly used. Nowadays we use LCD or LEDs. Okay, liquid crystal display and liquid emitting diode. These two are the mainly we use monitors. Okay, nowadays we use LCD and LED. Okay, and another output device is printer. Okay, printer is another output device. It can print the something on a paper. That is another output device. Okay, it is in the look only we can refer the content of output in monitor. Printer can give the output in the paper, something on the paper. Okay, printer output gives on paper. Okay, next coming to the input and output device. Okay, input output devices is it can give both input and output devices. Okay, both input and output devices are best example is headset. Headset is nothing but it can give both input and output devices. Okay, we can speak, that is speaker is input device. Speaker is input and output is microphone. Headset is a main example of input and output device. Both it consisting of input and output. Okay, input is a speaker. Whenever we speak the content, that is transferred to the in headset, and output is a microphone. You can listen the content with the help of microphone from computer to user. Okay, speaker and microphone is a next example of the input and output device. Okay, this is nothing but peripheral devices. What is a peripheral devices? Peripheral devices means external device. Okay, that is connected to the computer. The user can touch and feel. That is known as a peripheral devices. It consisting of three types. Mainly consisting of three types. That is input device, output device and input and output device. Input devices means it is used mainly in order to give the input to the computer. The best example of input device is keyboard, mouse and scanner. Keyboard, with the help of keys we can give the input to the computer, and mouse is okay. In keyboard we consisting of so many number of keys, that is a function keys, control keys, shift keys and enter, tab, digits and alphabets it consisting of. With the help of ASCII code we can represent the content to the computer. Okay, ASCII code means American Standard Codes Information Interchange. Okay, American National Standard, we can call it as American National Standard Code Information Interchange. Code means whatever the data it may be that can be transferred with the help of ASCII. It consisting of 7 bit that can be represented as 2 power 7 equal to 128 keys. Out of 128 we have to divide it into 94 are the printable and 34 are the non-printable keys. 94 means it consisting of alphabets or uppercase is 26 and lowercase is 26 and 10 digits and 32 are special symbols. These are comes under the printable characters. Next, coming to the non-printable, these are the non-printable characters that is available in the keyboard. Next, coming to the input devices is a mouse. Mouse is used to first to selecting your object or the any content that can be copy or cut or paste with the help of mouse. Okay, and also we have to select any object that can the cursor will be roll on overall the computer. Okay, consisting of left click and right click. You can view the information and you have to open any file or document or select an object with the help of the mouse. Next, scanner. Okay, in paper document, scanner is with the help of whenever we want to scan any picture or image with the help of a scanner, the resultant output will be displayed on the monitor. Scanner is one of the input device. Next, coming to the second one, output device. Okay, output devices means it gives the computer can view the output, okay, on displays on the output device or in the form of output device. Example is monitor or printer. Okay, monitor we can display the output whenever user want to view the input, then the output will be displayed on the monitor. Okay, we have two types of monitor nowadays. We use the LCD and LED. LCD means liquid crystal display and LED means liquid emitting diode. Okay, printer that can view the output in the form of any paper document, something on the text, representation of text on the document. Printer is a most commonly used output device. Whenever we want a data on a hard copy, then printer is a most used output device. Okay, it can print 10,000 lines okay, in a minute or a minute. Okay, next, coming to the input and output device. Okay, the best example of input and output devices is headset. Okay, it can take both input and receive and required output. Okay, headset is the best example of input and output. Input is a speaker and output is a microphone. Speaker, whenever the user want to speak, then take it as an input, and the resultant output is provided through microphones in the form of voice audio. Okay, this is about the peripheral device. Okay, the input output subsystem of computer referred as IO. Okay, referred as IO provided an efficient mode of communication between the central system and outside the environment. The both and input and output devices are the used for both inside and outside the environment of the computer. Input or output device attaches to the computer are called peripherals. What is the definition of peripherals? Input and output devices attached to the computer are nothing but peripheral devices. Among the most common peripherals are keyboard, display units and printers. Okay, most we want to see, day by day we see keyboard, display unit and printers. Video monitors are most commonly used as peripherals. Whenever the user get the output from this monitor. Okay, they consisting of keyboard as an input device and display unit as an output device. Okay, whenever the user want to give the input as the input device from keyboard, mouse, okay, or scanner is the input device. Output device is a monitor or printer. Okay, display unit is known as a output device. Printer provides a permanent record on a paper, computer, output, data or text. Printer gives the permanent data on a paper. Okay, text or data or any pictures that can be drawn with the help of printer. Okay, there are three basic type of characters. Printer. Okay, printer consisting of DCV, dot matrix and laser printer. Okay, it also consisting of LCD, LED and 3D. Nowadays, we use the printer as LCD, LED and 3D printers. Okay, DCV and dot matrix are in olden days we use the DCV and dot matrix are nowadays we use the dot matrix and laser printers. LCD and LED, 3D like that. These are the laser printers means LCD, LED and 3D printers. Okay, and ASCII alphanumeric characters. ASCII means American National Standard Code Information Interchange. Okay, input and output device that communicated with the people and computer are usually involved in the transfer of alphanumeric information to and from other device on the computer. Okay, these are the American Standard Code for Information Interchange. Okay, these are the American Standard Code has consisting of 7 bits. Okay, these are the bits or any symbols that is available in the computer. Okay, these are the control characters: null, start of heading, start of text, end of transmission, inquiry, acknowledgement. Okay, these are the instructions. What is the instruction is abbreviated as? Okay, these are the delete, link, expect. These are the another keys are provided in the computer. Okay, these are the American Standard Code for Information Interchange. Okay, B1, B2, B3, B4 are the input to the computer. Okay, next, this is a 00, 001, 010, 011. These are the inputs. What are the alphabets are provided into the keyboard is known as the ASCII characters. ASCII character. These are the ASCII characters that is displayed on the keyboard. Alphabets with uppercase and lowercase. Next, symbols, special symbols. Okay, and 0 to 9, it represents the numbers. Okay, these are the colon, semicolon, less than, greater than, equal to, exclamatory, under, at the rate. These are the symbols that are provided from the keyboard. Okay, coming to the, this is about the peripheral devices that are available on the computer. Okay, next topic is input-output interface. Okay, coming to the input-output interface. Okay, the input-output interface provides a method for transferring the information between the internal storage and external devices. Why we use the input and output interface? We have to transfer the information, okay, from input devices to the output, external input devices to the internal storage. Okay, what is the purpose of input? Whenever the user want to give the input with the help of keyboard or mouse, okay, to have to reach to the internal storage. Okay, internal storage, with the help of interface only we have to transfer the information from input devices to the internal storage. Okay, the main purpose of the input and output interface means the user want to give any input to the computer. With the help of interface only we can give the output, can give the input to the internal storage. Okay, here input-output interface. Mainly we have give the input to the internal storage with the help of interface. Interface is nothing but it transfers the information from input to input devices to internal storage. Transfer the information to input devices to the from interface to internal storage. It acts as a mediator between the interface, acts as a mediator between the input device and also internal storage for transferring of the information from one end to another end or source to destination. Okay, here peripherals connected to the computer need special communication link for interfacing them with central processing unit. Okay, peripherals are nothing but input device, output device. Okay, peripheral devices means external parts of the computer that are connected to the computer, and specially what is the purpose of peripheral device? Whatever the internal calculations that can be done with the help of monitor, that result will be displayed on the monitor. Whenever user want to give the input with the help of keyboard and mouse. Okay, peripheral devices are connected to the computer and communication links of interface them with the central processing unit. Okay, the purpose of communication link is resolve the difference. The purpose of communication link is to resolve the differences. Okay, so what is the input and output interface? Whenever the user want to give the input from input device, okay, that is transferred to the internal storage with the help of interface, that is nothing but input device. Okay, the CPU for example, we have to take CPU. CPU is a very fast accessing device. Okay, the CPU can contain more number of operations. Okay, with large storage, and it contains very faster than any other memory or any other register. Okay, the keyboard that can use the only 2 or 3 characters in 1 second. Okay, the CPU can access the more number of inputs, and multitasking programs also available that can be done. Multitasks are available with the help of CPU. Okay, the CPU can be very slow compared to the CPU. Okay, that's why the problem will be occurred. Okay, the compared to the CPU and keyboard is a slower and CPU is a faster. The comparison between the CPU and the input devices are input devices and CPU. Okay, input devices is a slower and CPU is very fast. Okay, this is the first comparison, and second one, okay, data format will be occurred in bytes. The CPU data format will be in the form of words. Okay, it can access more number of words within a second. Okay, the keyboard that can give only the 1 or 2 characters, mean 2 or 3 characters, like that only. Okay, third comparison is, okay, input that can give the serial manner. Okay, only one by one it can give the input. For example, you have to take a one keyboard. We can give the hello. Hello is the input. We can type HELLO. After H, we can type ELLO. Like that, we can type serial manner. Okay, for CPU, it can done parallelly. Multiple task is executed with the help of CPU. In parallel manner, the CPU can execute the information. Okay, this is the comparisons between the input and CPU. Input is slower and CPU is very faster, and input devices is the data formats is in the form of bytes, and CPU has words, and input devices is in the form of serial manner. One by one the data can be transferred from input device. In compared to the CPU, it can done multiple tasking at a time. It performs any operation at a time. Multiple tasking it can be at a time. Large information that can be stored, large information CPU can be accessing. Okay. Okay, we have to rectify that. That properties by using this interface. Okay, interface acts as an intermediate between the input device and also internal storage. Internal storage is nothing but a CPU. Okay, we have to rectify that problem with the help of interface only. Okay, the major differences. Okay, here the purpose of communication link is resolved in these differences. What are those differences? First one, peripherals of the electromechanical and electromagnetic device, and their manner of operation is different from the operation of CPU and memory, which are the electric devices. Okay, the peripheral devices and CPU is in a different manner. Peripheral devices are in serial manner. One by one, the instructions are format. Any operation that can be done. CPU can do multiple tasking or multiple operations internally in the CPU. Okay, CPU and memory, which are the electronic devices. Okay, second one, the data transfer rate of peripheral devices is usually slower than the transfer rate of CPU. Okay, the transfer rate of the CPU is very faster than the peripheral devices compared to the peripheral devices, and consequently a synchronization mechanism may be needed connected to the CPU. Next, the data codes and formats in peripheral devices differ from the word format in the CPU and memory. Already I expressed what is the data format. Input devices data formats in the form of bytes. CPU and memory has data format is in the form of words. It can access more number of the information, than the from input devices. Okay, only input devices can give the input very less. It is very slower than the CPU and the memory. Okay, input devices are very slow compared to the CPU and memory devices. Next, coming to the fourth one, the operating mode of peripheral are different from each other, and each must be controlled so as not to disturb the operation of the peripheral devices. The operating system mode is in a serial manner. Input devices are in the serial manner. One by one, the input will be taken. Okay, in CPU, it accesses the more number of information within a second or within a minute. It can done multiple tasking in parallelly. They can execute the multiple program or multiple information. Okay, the computer system includes special hardware components between CPU and peripheral to supervise the synchronous all input and output transformation. These computers are called interface between. Here the meaning of this difference is, here the meaning of this is, it acts interface unit. Already we discussing what is interface unit. Okay, we have to rectify, to resolve this problem, we have to use interface unit as a mediator between the input devices and CPU. Okay, interface unit acts as a intermediate between the keyboard and CPU. Okay, component between the CPU and peripheral devices from input and output transfer. We have to transfer the input and output with the help of interface. Okay, this acts as a mediator between the keyboard and CPU. Okay, this is the I/O bus and interface module. With the help of interface, these are the keyboards. Okay, these are the keyboard and display terminal. Keyboard and display terminal. Okay, these are the interface. These four are nothing but interface. This is also interface. This is also interface. And this is also interface. Okay, these three lines are nothing but I/O bus. What is a bus? What is the definition of bus? Bus that can be transferred the information from one device to another device. Bus is nothing but it can transfer the information from one device to another device. Okay, it consisting of three: data bus, address bus and control bus. Okay. Okay, this is a keyboard and display terminal. This is a printer. This is a magnetic disc and this is a magnetic tape. Okay, this is nothing but processor. This is a connection of I/O bus to input and output device. Internally, these are the input devices. These are the input devices and output devices connected to the computer. Okay, this is a processor. Internally, internal part of the computer is a processor. Okay, these are the interfaces. From every input and output devices, interface is connected. We have to that interface. What is the performance of interface? That transfer the information from input devices to the processor. Processor is nothing but here CPU or memory. Okay, here this is a keyboard and display terminal. This is a printer, magnetic disc and magnetic tape. Magnetic tape and magnetic disc are the external storage devices. Okay, these are connected to the computer. Okay, this is a printer. Whatever the output that is displayed in the form of printing on the paper, that is used for the help of printer. Okay, keyboard means this is the input and display terminal means this is a monitor. Keyboard, whenever user want to view the input with the help of keyboard, the result and output will be displayed on the display terminal. Okay, this is the interface. Interface acts as an intermediate between the input and output devices and also internal storage processor. Okay, here the interface is connected to the data for this is first one is control, next address and data line. Okay, here also this interface also connected control, address and data. Here also control, address and data. Okay, here this interface also connected to the control line and address line and data line. Here we have three lines: data line, address line and control lines. Okay, what is IO bus? It transfers the information to one device to another device. Okay, what is the data? We have to see these lines, these terminals. Data line that contains the information or data. Okay, that can access the information data from input devices to the processor or input devices to the CPU. Okay, address bus. Where address, what is the address line? Okay, address line that indicates the address of the any instructions. Okay, we have to identify the address with the help of the address line. Control line, it can perform the read and write operations. It can perform read and write operations. These are the three lines: data line, address line, control line. Data line, it can store the information or data regarding to the keyboard, the data that can come in from the keyboard. Okay, and address line, what is the location we have to identify with the help of address line. Okay, control line, it can access the read and write operation. Okay, here the processor, whatever the operation is done with the help of internally in the computer with the help of processor. Okay, these are the keyboards, these are the external components, these are the peripheral devices. Keyboard and display terminal, printer, magnetic disc and magnetic discs of the external devices. Okay, these are the interface. That is, interface is acts as a mediator between the processor and keyboard. Processors and external devices. External devices mean nothing but peripheral devices. Okay, IO bus, it transfer the information to processor to the every line. Okay, IO bus is nothing but it transfer the information from one devices to the another device. Okay, with the help of IO bus, these three lines were performed: data line, address line and control line. Control line, it performs read and write operations in the memory. Address line, it indicates the address where the memory is located. Next, database, what is the content and what is the information available in the data line. This is nothing but the IO bus and interface module. Okay, IO bus and interface module. In this diagram, we discussed about what is the interface, how interface is working with the help of IO bus. Okay, the function code is referred as IO command. Okay, this is IO command and is essential as instruction that is executed in interface and it is attached to the peripherals. There are the four types of command that our interface may receive. They can classify as control, status and data output and data input. Okay, control command is issued to activate the peripheral and it is in the form of what to do. A status command is used to test various status conditions in interface and peripherals. Okay, we have four types of command regarding that IO bus and interface device. They are the control bus, control, status, data output and data input. Okay, data input and data output means whenever we want to give the input with the help of data input and receive the output with the help of data output. Okay, control command is used to represents the read and write operation. That the status bits also provides what is the status of the processor. Okay, here we have three types of commands. Three types of commands are First one is control command, second one status command, third one is input, okay, data input or input, and another one is output. Control command, it can control whole the IO bus of interface module. Status bus, whether the CPU, this is a processor or CPU. Okay, status, what is the operation that can be done? Okay, what is the status? What is the condition of these IO bus with the help of interface that is identified with the help of status. Input device means input that can access, okay, that can, the information is passed to the interface to the CPU or not, that can be identified with input. And output, okay, output is displayed on these peripheral devices display format. These are the four commands: control command, status command, input command, and output command. Okay, these are the four commands that is used for connection of IO bus and interface input output devices. Through interface input and output device. IO devices means it transfers the information to one device to another device. It consisting of data line, address line, and control line. Okay, these are the peripheral device. Interface acts as a mediator between the input devices, output devices, and also internal process, that is nothing but processor, CPU, or memory. Okay, data output command causes the interface to respond transferring the data from bus into one of its register. The data input command is opposite of data output. In case the interface receives on an item the data from peripheral and places it buffer in the buffer register. Next, coming to the IO versus memory bus. Okay, the memory bus contains the data, address, read, write, control lines. Okay, this is the IO versus memory bus. Okay, what is the difference between the IO bus and memory bus? Okay, the memory bus contains data, address, read and write control lines. These three are the control lines: data, address, read and control lines. Okay, there are three ways that computer bus can be used to communicate memory and IO bus. Okay, here we have to implement the three ways that can be communicated from IO to memory bus or memory to IO. Use two separated buses, one of memory and one for IO. Okay, we have to make two buses. Okay, two buses means like this. Okay, that is from one is from memory and another one is IO. Okay, next use one common bus for both memory and IO but have separate control lines for each. Okay, these are the control lines. Okay, these are control lines. This is the data. This is the address. And another one is read and write. Okay, another one is it also contains separate control lines: data, address, and read and write operations. Okay, clearly we see here. Okay, we have two different types. This is a memory. Okay, it contains data, address line, and read and write. Okay, here this is IO. It also contains three lines, three control lines: data, address, read and write. Okay, use two separate buses. Here we use for memory for one buses and IO for another bus. Use one common bus for both. Memory, IO has separate control lines for each. Use one common bus for memory, IO with common control lines. These are the differences between the IO versus memory buses. It consisting of three control lines: data, address, and read and write operations. Okay, here we have to know here. Use one common bus of memory and IO common control line. Okay, this is a common bus. Okay, like we have to different some conditions have common control lines. Use two separate buses. Okay, in memory has one bus and IO has one bus. Use one common bus for both. Memory and IO has separate control lines. Use one common bus for both, for memory and IO with common control line. These are the difference between the IO versus memory bus. Okay, coming to the isolated versus memory mapped IO. Okay, we have two types of two types of mapping IOs, mapped IOs. One is isolated IO and another one is memory mapped IO. The memory read and memory write control lines are enabled during the memory transfer. Whenever the data will be transferred, here in isolated and memory mapped IO, in memory transfer we have to enable memory read and write operation for transferring of the data. This configuration, isolation or IO interface address were the address assigning to memory, and these two isolated IO method for assigning the address in the common bus. Computer that employs only one set of read and write signals and does not distinguish between memory and IO address. This is nothing but IO versus and memory mapped IO. Example of IO interface, it consisting of two data register calls, ports as control register, status register, bus buffer, timing and control signals. This interface communicates with the CPU through the data bus. Okay, here in this diagram we see the both control IO interface. Okay, here we have to take the bus buffer. Here we have to take the bus buffer. Okay, bus buffer is connected with the single bus. This is nothing but bus. What is the bus? That transfer the information from one device to another device. It acts as a mediator from one device to the another device. This is a bus buffer. Okay, bus buffer. It is a timing and control. It consisting of chip select, register select. Okay, register select has two, register select 0 and register select 1, consisting of read operation and write operation. This is a timing and control signals. Okay, to CPU. This is okay. Bus buffer has bidirectional. Okay, both sides it can be denoted arrow. Bidirectional means two sides. Bi means two. Data bus. Okay, this data bus that can be transferred to the outside of the bus buffer. Okay, that bidirectional means bus buffer that can be transferred the information to the bus and outside of the bus the data is transferred. That's why bus buffer is called as bidirectional. Okay, this is an internal bus that can be transferred the information from one device to another device. Here from another part we have port A register, port B register, control register and status register. Already we discussed in IO interface we have two data register, port, control register, status register, bus buffer, timing and control circuit that interface and communicates CPU through the bus. Okay, here timing and control CS is a chip select, register select. Register selected has 0 and 1 read and write operation. This information is nothing but this side is CPU. This side is IO devices. Okay. This is a port A, port B, control register and status register. The status is transferred to the status register to the bus and control register that can be transferred to the out of the IO devices. This is a IO data. Port A and port B has connected to IO data. Okay, this is a timing and control. This is about example of IO interface unit. Here CS means chip select. RS means register select. Register select, it has both. These are the inputs. CS chip select, register select 1 and 0. Okay, these are the register select. Okay, these are the inputs. What is the input? What is the input that is given? The output will be displayed like this. Okay, here for CS is 0, RS 0 and RS 1 or nothing. That will be displayed as data bus in high impedance. Okay, in 3-state buffer we have three types of impedance. One is logic 0, logic 1, high impedance. For 0 in operation we have high impedance. Next coming to the 100, port A register will be activated. Next 101, port B register will be activated. 110, the control register will be activated. Okay, the next CS1, CS chip select is 1, RS1, RS0 is 1, then the register select with the status register. This is an example of IO interface unit. With the help of these example of IO interface consisting of the port A, port B, control register and status register that is connected to the bus. Okay, bus buffer that is transferred to the port A, port B, control register and status bus. These are the inputs for the timing and control CS, RS1, RS0, read and write operation. This part is comes under the 2 CPU. This is to the IO devices. Okay, this acts as a between these IO devices and CPU, bus is acts as a interface. Okay, this is isolated versus memory mapped IO. With the help of this diagram, we represented it as isolated IO and memory mapped IO. Okay, next class we discussed about the next topic. Thank you.